What is going on, guys and girls? Level Up here at On Point Gaming. Today I'm going to be talking about what I think about the Battlefield 4 beta, my thoughts on it, and also concerns for the final release of the game that I have. Obviously this is still in beta, so we can't exactly judge the final product on it, but I can say that there are a few things that bother me that I have a prime opportunity to upload and forward it to DICE so that they can see this and understand some of the glitches and problems that I've been having. So one of the first big glitches that I've been having is torsos randomly stretching out and sometimes enemies disappearing, particularly on the roof of the building in Domination. The entire air conditioning unit and enemies will sometimes just vanish. I'm sure that has probably been reported several times. But there's been a couple times where guns have been doing far less damage than it is said on the battle log that they do, and I'm not exactly sure if that's a bug or not. But for instance, I shot a guy with this DMR here, that on the battle log says it does 60 damage, and I got a 31 kill assist. So I'm not sure, and I was pretty darn close, like within what would be considered point blank range. So that's another bug that I have. So I'm using the RFB, I believe it's called here. I'm playing Assault, and in case you don't know, carbines and designated marksman rifles, or DMRs, are universal guns. Any class can use them, so that's definitely a good thing. But it also leads me to believe that the DICE is going to have a difficult time balancing these, just because they do a lot of damage. But I don't know if it is part of their I don't know what stat it is, but I have a really hard time making my follow-up shot very accurate. Like, let's say I fire one round and then half a second later I fire another one. That second one is for some reason never as accurate as the first one. I'm not sure if it's a deflating type spread where it takes a second for your spread to recover back to normal. That very well could be. I wouldn't know. That's just sort of how it feels. So all of the guns, well, pretty much all of the guns do more damage than they used to, including pistols. So the game itself is going to be more difficult than Battlefield 3. I think that they have sort of stuck with their form factor of BF3 for the fantastic gunplay. They've just upped the ratios a bit to make assault rifles, instead of 25 up close, 30. It's just little, and the Scar H even does 40 damage up close, so that's a 3-shot kill in close quarters. That's really significant, something to keep in mind. So, we don't get to see all of the unlocks. We mostly get to see red dot sights, but DMRs get the ACOG and another zoomed optic. I don't remember exactly which one it is. But so if you're wanting to try out the Battlefield 4 version of the ACOG, basically your only chance to do this would be to play the beta as a designated marksman rifle, and these are also the only guns so far that I get the canted iron sights. So that's really cool to get the canted iron sights, because those are sort of a big deal for zoomed optics. I think they're going to make them way more widely used in the multiplayer games. So the helicopters, I think, are still incredibly imbalanced. The little birds are just so ridiculously easy to control that it kind of makes it too easy to shoot things. But I'm not a very good pilot, as you'll see here. I miss my targets constantly, but a skilled helicopter pilot will find these just ludicrously overpowered, I think, and I've flown against a couple of good ones. Also, DICE, would you please restrict the airspace for the little birds so that they're not over each deployment, because I've been getting either the helicopter stolen, or the other team will just sit in our spawn with the other scout helicopter, just waiting for ours to spawn and somebody to get in it, so that they can gun them down and get free kills. It's kind of aggravating, because then you have no air power, and since there's only one lock-on launcher, aside from the RPG, if you have a scout player in your squad, it can get slightly aggravating. So I have free shot a couple players in the game, and I can say that the ballistics make a heck of a lot more sense this time around. The way the bullets travel through the air and other projectiles such as RPGs and M320 grenade launcher shells and tank shells even, the way that they fly through the air is much more representative of real life, and so are the guns, I think, in total. The AK-12 is a beast of a gun. It has very minimal recoil. Its reload speed is not the best, but it's nothing to be upset about, and it makes a real good all-around gun. I think so far my favorite gun is the ACWR, or ACR, which in real life is the Adaptive Combat Rifle, or in this game the Adaptive Combat Weapon Rifle, because they didn't get the actual Magpul ACR licensing. DICE just kind of cut corners and changed the name a tiny bit, but it does avoid them getting shut down, so that's always a good thing. Now the reload system, in case you haven't noticed, I'm blowing through ammo at a ludicrous rate of speed. That is because whenever, at least on the consoles, it's not this way on PC, which tells me that this is a way earlier build of the game than the PC version. In case you couldn't tell that already, they basically just fixed the bugs and that was in the pre-alpha and the alpha, and they just give us this beta to try out, which honestly does not look the part yet. It looks a little shaky, like it's kind of like BF3, but the textures aren't quite as crisp. Some of them are just kind of bland and pointless. But there are a couple things that lead me to believe that the console beta is basically just a alpha that has been reformatted to put on the consoles and had the original bugs fixed up, but it's basically the same thing. So if you needed some more proof that that's how that is, the reload system. So you lose all of the leftover ammo in a magazine whenever you drop a magazine, and you also have the staged reload system. You drop the magazine, that's a stage. You put one in, that's a stage. You charge the weapon, and then you're done. So if you are to stop your reload animation at any point during this process, you are going to go back to the stage in which you finished, overall shortening the amount of time it takes to do a reload, but also the amount of time that it takes for like chaotic moments, and also RPGs are this way. So various pieces of equipment and whatnot will be very much complemented by this gameplay mechanic. I really hope that does make it into the final version of the game. That's just about the only thing I'm seeing so far that I want in the final version of the game, aside from the maps. But so DICE, I know that you probably don't want to tell me, but it's an alpha, right? It's just the alpha without any sauce on it, like a beta should be. So that's all the time that I have for you guys today. I'm Level Up here at On Point Gaming. Have a good one and take it easy, guys.